afternoon. It's a force of habit. Anyhow, ski holidays. It's looking good in Europe. Just because I'm thinking snow. At least there's been some snow, which is reassuring.
Yeah, there's been a fair bit of snow. The way things are, you could probably go skiing in Minaroy over the next few days. But what we've seen, what we saw was a good flash of snow pre-Christmas. Pretty clear skies, but very cold at the moment. That means that's really good news, and that means that they from about midweek we're going to have fairly good snow in the main resorts where Irish people go.
Yeah. And we say the main resorts because a lot of skiers have been going higher. Places maybe above 2,000 meters or 2,500 meters, and that's to get guaranteed snow because there's been a few years where it's been hit and miss.
We saw a couple of very bad years where we actually made with very little snow about exactly 10 years ago, right up to New Year's Eve. And then we'd such a dump that a lot of the buses got trapped. But you're absolutely right. One of the places where global warming is most evident is where the Alps and low altitude resorts. A good example, John, would be Morzine, which is on the France-Switzerland border. It's a lovely resort because you can ski in France into Switzerland and back again. They even have customs posts on the ski slopes. Very low altitude though. And you can see the people, it's not that they've run out of to snow because they do get good jumps, but to be absolutely snow sure, people are avoiding it and going higher. The highest resorts in France are Val Thorens, which is the highest in Europe, Val d'Isère, which is across the other mountain looking over at it. They're pretty good places to get where you pretty much be guaranteed snow. Follow the resorts that are on the World Cup circuit. Most of them are higher and most of them are pretty much timed to get the snow. Problem with the ski resort, there's no money back if it doesn't snow. The other side of that, though, John, for people who've never skied, is that almost every resort, after one really bad winter in the late 90s, almost every resort has artificial snowmaking machine. Once it reaches the temperature, the machines will turn any precipitation, any rain into snow. So you can ski in beautiful parts of Europe and have green mountains and green valleys all around, and these big white stripes coming down the mountain where everybody is skiing.
Yeah, it is hard to beat though having a sort of a white panorama, even if it's patchy, and then let the snow machines fill in the blanks. Because you're chatting there about skiing into Switzerland. We did exactly that last year. I like to get a wee ski break every year, but we went to Italy. We went to Cervinia, and it's high
Yes.
up, but you're able to ski into Zermatt for a day on your ski pass. So, but this year, with the way things are going, it looks like a lot of the resorts that you've been chatting about there and others in Austria, they'll be okay for snow.
Yeah, we're pretty. There was a good dump of snow early. December wasn't great. That plays tricks with the mountain. What can happen is a firm base early begins a soft base and becomes a soft base if there's a warmer period leading up to December, which there was right across Europe. Now the snow is falling again. That makes things a little bit unstable. Not a big problem if you're staying in the piste, but off-piste skiers, which there's a growing number in Ireland, have to be careful. And it's really important you always travel with a guide. They know where bits of the mountain where the snow might fall because people die in avalanches every year. Not a large number, but it's one of the things that happens with off-piste skiing.
Well, if somebody's thinking about skiing, it'll all be different. I mean, there'll be some looking at family resorts, more focusing on après ski, and some will be looking for easy slopes to learn on. Give us an idea for popular places and places that are accessible, would have a good mix of slopes.
Okay, it's all about the air, first of all. Let's make sure that you can get there. The best services in are through Lyon and Geneva, and that opens up all those alpine resorts. We used to have a charter service to Chambéry, which was closer. It doesn't really matter that much. It's going to be a distance, no matter where you go. There are no airports in the mountains, so it's going to be a 3 hour transfer. That's important for a short break that you time it perfectly. The timing of the early morning flights that, for instance, Aer Lingus to Munich, early morning, I think it's 5:55. you'll be on your Austrian slope about 2 hours after landing, and you get a full day skiing immediately after. Salzburg, a very important way in. Innsbruck is a charter flight destination, and an awful lot of the ski traffic goes really through Geneva. Just Switzerland is a very popular ski resort but it's small numbers because it's so expensive. It's terrific skiing. The skiing is better in France. Austria won't mind me saying that. They've got really good resorts and they've got higher resorts. The crack generally is better in Austria. We
Yeah.
like Austria, Irish people like Austria. If you go through all the main markets, for instance, Britain and France, well, Spain and places, when people go skiing, Netherlands, the vast majority of them go to France, and a smaller number go to Austria. It's the other way around in Ireland. Austria is our number one destination. Why? Because we love the hotels and the small village atmosphere. You go into family-run hotels. The daughter's behind the desk. The mama and the dad are in the kitchen. The dad is going around the restaurant meeting people. If you go to France, it tends to be a big chain resort hotel like the Accor Group, and while the the follies, big barn, big uh, social venues in the mountains with the disco music and people dancing on ski boots. All of those things are going from mid-afternoon, but you're getting served in a barn. It's not really a small bar like you get in some of the villages in Austria.
Yeah.
Skiing better, but you're sleeping on a board. Austria, Irish people aren't good skiers. We don't have any home-based ski resorts, despite despite what happens in Donegal this time of the year. But we also do like we will do 2-3 hours on the slope. An awful lot of the people I know, there's when it's going out to ski and go on their après ski, there's an awful lot of après and very little skiing.
That can happen, yeah. Let's not forget Italy as well in all of this. I mean, I mentioned Sardinia there. We're actually going out to Latul at the start of next month. But Sausi Do, also a popular spot in Italy.
Osdu is probably the real. There are beautiful chic resorts as well that I love. You mentioned Livigno. The key to Livigno, it's a bit like Andorra. The price is amazing. It's much, much cheaper and it's duty free. So gang of lads, gang of girls, you're getting the cheapest bar prices you're going to get in both Andorra and Livigno. And Livigno tends to get that young and very hip and very happening crowd. And there is, when you've got that sense of purpose of a gang of young guys or a gang of young girls going out together, the fun is great in the bars. The meeting that everybody can talk skiing. They've all got this commitment. It's like going on the equivalent of Granny's Lourdes pilgrimage, except the pilgrimage point is the mountain, and it's a great convivial social scene. Madonna di Campiglio is my favorite Italian resort. A little bit more expensive, very chic, but beautiful slopes.
And you mentioned Livigno there. I mean, the transfer is a fairly long transfer to Livigno.
Long transfer.
That's the
but
only
a lot
thing.
of air access, because Bergamo and Linate airports and the two Milan airports and Bergamo have good options. But it's a long way up to the mountain. Remember, the transfer can be very expensive. You can pay twice for the transfer what you pay for the flight. That's true of all ski. There are very good organized bus services out of Geneva Airport to the main French resorts, but they can be something like €90.
Yeah. So, what would your advice be if someone's thinking about skiing for the first time, and even maybe it's a family? I'm sure at this stage they probably have it booked and have their homework done. But for a first-time skier, a few tips maybe?
Or go to a travel agent first. Always go to a travel agent first. They will get you the access to everything put in together. They'll get the right sort of hotel for you, a noisy one if you want noisy, a quiet one if you don't, quiet resort if you like a quiet place, and a noisy, boisterous Livigno or Aransal if you don't. They'll also, more importantly, be able to source the flights and the transfers. They get access to flights and transfers through what's called the GDS systems that are not on the internet. and they get access to prices that are not on the internet. They won't be charging you what the way it works is that, they don't mark up anymore. That used to be the case, but they will get a commission from. But the reason they get the commission is that they will actually be accessing flights to fill hundreds of seats rather than just one that one person buys on the internet. So that's the way to go. As people develop, they can sometimes get very adlick about organizing their own flights and transfers. It's still fraught with danger. It's always fraught with danger because with the travel agent, you're bonded, they're licensed, they're subject to compensation rules. They can't just shut the window down if there's a major problem. They'll deal with your complaint and sort you out. And I know people who have had transfer issues at 5 o'clock in the morning. The transfer isn't here. I have to get to Munich airport, that famous flight home, and you need somebody at the end of the phone.
Yeah. Well, we've been skiing for years, and we started off with travel agents, and then we went to DIY. But you learn with the over the years, and you do sometimes learn the hard way. And now we're
Yeah.
back with travel agents.
John, you have to be in the whole of your health to do a DIY. You really need, there are so many moving parts to a ski holiday. Going to the beach, getting from the airport to your hotel, lying in the sun, it's very uncomplicated. Ski is quite complicated.
But for the sheer amount of skiing and the variety of slopes, and as you mentioned, the social aspect to it, the après ski and the smaller bars and really busy après ski and people up on tables, you can't beat the popular resorts in Austria.
They're marvelous, absolutely. San Johann, Sol, Westendorf, they're almost Irish enclaves.
Yeah.
Lermos is another great Irish enclave. The person who looked after tourism in Lermoos for the whole of all the visitors is a huge fan of Ireland, visits all the time here. We are there are parts of Austria, and the other thing the Austrians do is they identify our festivals. They turn the slopes green for Patrick's Day. They know that the Dutch aren't coming St. Patrick's weekend because they don't have a bank holiday. I think, John, one of the great inventions for Irish travel and for ski in particular is St. Bridget's Day. We should all be down on our knees thanking St. Bridget for our bank holiday because it gives us that extra date that the rest of Europe is not on holidays. Now, the complete converse of that is midterm in France. If you arrive in a French resort during the French midterm, and the French midterm comes not just in 1 week, 3 weeks, according to the zone of the country, but you're at the back of a very, very long queue getting up for that first ski in the morning.
Yeah, and nothing worse than and not just the going up in the morning, but a lot of all the other lifts as well. There's likely to be longer lines. If someone wants to follow you or to get more info, how can they do it, Eoghan?
Travelextra.ie is my website, and that's where I put up what little nuggets of information I come across in my day, which from all the various sources. Could actually fill it with tens of thousands of words, which I don't have time to do, but I do give a sort of a flavour of it, and where you will probably where you get to meet me personally and get to meet some of the ski experts is at the Holiday World Show in January 23 to 25 in Dublin. I'll be on stage there. It's going to be 3 great days, and you have about 1,000 people in the hall, all from different parts of the world, talking about their region, talking about the best time to book, the best time to go there. John, we have never had as many travel scams. I had 2 of them attempting me this morning. So meeting trusted people face to face, you can't beat it. And that goes with your travel agent as well. Donegal has some of the most highly respected, award-winning travel agents in the country. Absolutely, go in, chat, talk to them. A lot of them are appointment only, or make an appointment to get in, and tell them exactly what you want. They'll be able to deliver it. They're very good.
Okay, solid advice as always, Eoghan Corry. A pleasure.
Always a
Thank you.
huge pleasure, John.